All right, so we just finished a group today on positive mindset, positive mind framing, and what we were talking about, the biggest takeaway was, and client after client said, this new thinking of, it's not necessarily journaling, which is fantastic, but one of the top takeaways was what we call the TM, the TL, and the TA. So every single evening what we do is we go over the day that we just had. And we look at what was the top accomplishment today. Now the goal is to lower the expectations. So before, if an accomplishment was I climbed Mount Kilimanjaro, we want to go ahead and minimize it for just little things. Now the big ones are great if we get that, but typically you're not doing these big things each day. We just want to go ahead and write down what's the top accomplishment that happened that day. I know my writing's fantastic, but you get the idea. So that's the first thing that we look at for referring to the day. The next is the TM. And this is the top moment. What was a moment that I really appreciated? Maybe I was really present. Maybe something fantastic happened. It's a celebration, but it's the top moment of the day. It's those moments we look for that when we're in that aspect, we're in that frame of mind, it's kind of like, wow. If this is life, if this is it, I'm okay because it's that fantastic. So the goal is to have a lot of these little micro or mini moments throughout the day that continue to stack on top of each other. Whether it's seeing a friend and having that hug or a handshake, or hearing something that someone shares and it hits you right here, you get the full chills. It's those little aspects, and as you stack on the day, these start to build. So imagine if you did just these two. There's a third one we're going to get to, but if you just did these two every single day, after 7 days, you've got 21 items that you're looking back on. Same thing with at the end of the month. You have what is that, 93 things for the month. And what this does, it starts to reprogram your brain to look for the good, to actually remember the great things. Because at the end of the week, if you record all the great stuff and you review it at the end of the week, you think, man, this is a really good week. Why? This is the format or the formula behind what makes a week great versus what makes a week crappy. If you're tracking what our brain already does in automatic, if you're tracking all the negativity or the bad things that happen to you, at the end of the week or the day, you're thinking, man, this was a terrible day. So the next one is TL. And this is one of my favorites because this is what promotes the growth. What was the top lesson of the day? And again, this little exercise actually will take you fewer minutes than it is in this little mini lesson to teach you what it is. But at the end of each day, set it in your alarm. I have it in my cell phone. It goes off each night that I sit down and I think about what was my top lesson of the day, what was my top moment of the day, and what was my top accomplishment. And again, it just stacks and stacks, and at the end of a week, at the end of the month, and the coolest thing is at the end of the year, you look back and you start looking at this and you think, oh my gosh, I am living an incredible life. I had a great year, and then here's the key. You start to find patterns. You don't have to wait for the year. You can actually do it at the end of a week or even a month. You look at the patterns. When am I most happy? What are my top moments? It happens to be around when I'm with my kids or when I'm doing this for others, giving back, or whatever that is. So that's what I'm hoping you grab from this quick little snippet is start to implement my top lesson for the day, top moment, and top accomplishment, and you'll start to see your life change.